All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak, Wadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakathum. This is going to be a response to the latest controversy out of the IUIC. Man, these guys, all right, they're putting us into overtime into defending the gospel because, which we're gonna do anyway, because this is what we do, but they're causing us to go in overtime with how often they're going off on various doctrines. Now, a micro recap on the history is the Bishop Nathaniel Nate, the leader of the IUIC. He grew up, spiritually speaking, with Apostle Tahar, who was the leader of Great Millstone. And at one point, they taught the same doctrine, and there were various splits over the years. And that's how the organization of GMS started and the organization of IUIC started. But what's happened over the years is that they've gotten bigger and bigger, all right? They've gotten more money and more money. And along with that growth and that wealth has came a lot of backwards reprobate doctrines. Now, it wasn't always this often and frequent, okay? When I first started coming into the truth and watching videos and learning, but now, I mean, it's every other month. It's something new coming out of these guys, and we welcome it because we know that this is a sign of the end. Okay, now, the latest controversy out of Bishop Nathaniel was all where you see the Lord Yahweh, the Lord capital Lord, all right, that's alluding to, or it's speaking about Yahweh Shai, which is the Son. Okay, now this might be a little bit of an advanced lesson for brothers that are new to this thing, and there are certain concepts, man, if you're first watching, that you got to get an understanding on, such as reincarnation. All right, such as the heavenly hierarchies. All right, predeterminism, the absence of free will. These concepts, all right, are things that you gotta understand before you can read the Bible and in particular precepts and get the understanding on it. All right, so when I go through these, I'll explain these as much as I can, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to hit the points because there are many ways that you can come through this. I've seen brothers I watch brothers' videos, responses on it, but I want to look at the lens of the comment that he made in this precept right here, which is the everlasting Father. All right, now this is Isaiah 9. All right, this is where Bishop Nathaniel got this from. All right, I'll go straight to it. Isaiah 9:6, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. All right. And the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor. All right. The mighty power, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Now, this is the controversy, is the everlasting Father. When you look at the Hebrew, the word there is Abba. All right. So this is not what a Christian will call a textual criticism. This is getting an understanding of the metaphor. We know the Bible uses metaphors. It uses something called idioms. All right. When you lay with a woman, what does that mean? When you know a woman, what does that mean? All right. There's a literal meaning of the word, but then there's an implied meaning. All right. An idiom is a phrase or expression that has a figurative meaning that is different from the literal meaning of the individual words. All right. So when you see words like Father, you really gotta understand the context here. All right. You really gotta understand the context. Why is the context important? Why is this so big? I can't even get back to the previous one, Salakia. Now, even with that context known, you can look at Yahushua, which is the subject matter here. All right, Nate is saying that the everlasting Father, all right, Yahushua, implying that they're one. Now, this is going towards the path of Trinity doctrine. Now, he hasn't said that, all right, but there's no other place to go. If you've pivoted from what you've been taught to go down this path, the only path really for you to go is to say him and there's no difference between him and the Father. You know, why else would you try to replace every instance of where the Father is mentioned with Yahushua, when both of them are in the Old Testament and in the New Testament? You know, causing confusion, man. But that's okay. All right, we're gonna get through this real quick. It says the mighty power, the everlasting Father. All right, so this is where he gets caught up, saying that, look, Yahushua, who we know this is a prophecy speaking about, is called the everlasting Father. All right. Now, one thing that comes to mind is Adam. Okay. All right. Now, you know, for brothers that don't know, the reincarnation concept in the Bible, all right, you see various people get brought back into their lot where a spirit is put in from old into a new body in a new generation. All right. Now, the most famous matter that you can read about this is John the Baptist. They say he's Elijah. You can read about that in the book of Matthew. And you know, all throughout the new, you know, the Gospels. All right. So reincarnation is in the Bible. Now, one thing, and I believe Nate teaches this, is that Adam was Yahushua. Okay. Adam was Yahushua. And can I prove that? Let me do that real quick. Okay. Because it begs the question, well, Adam is the father of everybody. when you really think about it, all right? Let me go, where is it? Yep. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 21. So you see, just as death came into the world through a man, now the resurrection from the dead has begun through another man. All right. Who are these two individuals? You're seeing a comparison between who? Adam, which we know famously partaking of the forbidden fruit, that knowledge, that the ways of death, okay, followed by his wicked wife Eve, okay. It says, now the resurrection from the dead has begun through another man. All right. Who is the other man? All right. It says, verse 22, just as everyone dies because we all belong to Adam. So this is telling you, all right, everybody here experiences death. Every man under the earth goes through that because Adam went off. Why? Because we all are of the lineage of Adam. Every nation is under the lineage of Adam. How? The flood. Okay. Now, if you know the story of Noah, the Lord destroyed everybody and every creature, save Noah, his family, and the animals he told him to put on the ark. All right. And Noah is of the direct lineage of Adam. Okay. The man Adam. Okay. And you know how Ham, Shem, and Japheth, those are the beginning of the table of nations. All right. And you read about that in Genesis, okay? And it says, let me read verse 22 again. Just as everyone dies because we all belong to Adam, everyone who belongs to Hamashiach will be given new life. All right? So what this really is a giant redemption story, okay? Yahushua is the beginning. He's the first of really the principal man of all the nations. Okay. All right. And he went off, caused all of this death. And now he's going to be the way back to what? Eternal life. Okay. But it's going to be tiered. Not everybody's going to get the same rights and privileges. But the nations, y'all will be good again eventually. Y'all are going to get the best out of the earth. All right. But you're going to be low level and you're going to have to get your ass whipped every now and then. Okay. Verse 23. It says, but there is an order to this resurrection. Hamashiach was raised as the first of the harvest. Then all who belong to Hamashiach will be raised when he comes back. Now, I want to skip down to the point All right, I'm in the NLT. All right, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 45. The scriptures tell us the first man, Adam, became a living person, but the last Adam, see, that's the clue right there. The last Adam, that is Hamashiach, is a life-giving spirit. All right, so it's a duality. All right, he came back. Okay, and he's visited all throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament, and he was born back in the earth multiple times, man. Okay. He was also Isaac, and he was also Solomon, okay? King Solomon, forgive me. All right? So this is proof that Yahweh Shai was Adam, okay? When you read the scriptures, and there's other, scriptures you can cross-reference with this to get a little bit more meat off of that bone. All right? But now that we've established that, all right? Let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 3, verse 4. O Lord Yahweh, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning when thou didst plant the earth, that thyself alone, and commandest the people, and gavest a body unto Adam without soul. All right? But that's spoken about too. The body first, and then the soul gets put in it. All right? And you see that when it says, well, we'll read it. But there's basically a quote here of Genesis. It says, which was the workmanship of thine hands. All right? And didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. All right. And it says, and thou leadest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forward. All right. So Adam was set up just like you hear him spoken about. You hear Yahweh Shai being spoken about in the book of John. He was there in the beginning. All right. But then he was born, okay? He was born into it, okay? And it makes sense that those spirits, okay, the first fruits that created everything in the earth, when you read Genesis 1, through 2, that it was a delay between those spirits going down through the lineage of the physical man Adam. Why? Because we were in the spirit. We created it through the spirit. You see? The first fruits. Not to go down that path, all right? But this is the beginning, and this was Yahweh Shai, man, all right? Verse 7, and unto him thou gavest commandments to love thy way, which he transgressed, and immediately thou appointest death in him and his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. So he's Adam is the father, okay? You can't get around it. Okay, and it says, and every people walked after their own will and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments. So this is describing what happens during the fall of Adam, the Napoleon. All right, it started with Adam, and his whole lineage went off. All right, just like it started with Solomon and the kingdom rent. Okay, and then all of those kings started going off. They split into two. You had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right, and they both were going off. You had righteous kings along the way, but, that was the beginning of it all. Okay? So that happened again. All right? It says, and again in process of time thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwelt in the world, and destroyedest them. And it came to pass in every of them that death was to Adam, so as was the flood to these. Nevertheless, one of them thou leftest, namely Noah, with his household, of whom all righteous men came. So you could say Noah is a father. All right. Now he's not Yahweh Shai. He's not known as the everlasting father. Okay. But these were great men. All the Most High favored Noah. Okay. He chose his loins to have the rest of the entire planet Earth you see today come through him. Okay. Who was a descendant of who? Adam. Okay. It says, and it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had gotten them many children, and were a great people, they began to be more ungodly than the first. Okay. So from one man, Adam, all right, the earth multiplied. Okay. Now basically that's let me see. There's a lot on this, but I'm trying to hit the points and move on. All right. Let's see here. All right. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 49, verse 16. Sem, which is Shem. All right. That's how you say that, because we're Shemitic. All right. Shem and Seth, and really it would be Sheth, I believe, in the Hebrew. All right. Or the more accurate Hebrew, I should say. And it says, Shem and Seth were in great honor among men, all right? And so was Adam above every living thing in creation. This is why he's considered the Father. This is why he's considered the everlasting Father, okay? The everlasting Father, okay? How is he the everlasting Father? All right, this is Revelation chapter 22, start at verse 12. And then behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, and to give every man according as his work shall be. All right, this is red letter. We know who's speaking here, right? It says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Okay, so this is why he's everlasting. This is why he's the everlasting Father, because he was the first, all the way back to Adam, to the first fruits that were created. And really, he's the first creature to be created. Okay, that includes the heavens. Okay, so this is why you can't say, well, Noah could be. No, Noah's not known as the Alpha and the Omega. All right. This is a giant story, okay? That's 12,000 years old. When you really, go through the scriptures and read and get the understanding, okay? It says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. And this basically is an inheritance. This is Yahushai's inheritance from who? Yahweh, his Father. Okay? The Lord had him go through, sit in the chains of darkness, walk in the flesh. All right? But what is his birthright? It's to be the king of the universe. Anything you can fathom with your feeble mind, that is Yahushai. That's his realm. He rules that. Everything, man. All right? There's nothing above Yahushai except Yahweh. All right? And how do we know this? Because we see it here. Okay? Isaiah 41 and 4. It says, who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning. I, the Lord Yahweh. Yahweh. Okay? I, the Lord Yahweh. Now watch what he says. I, the Lord Yahweh, the first and with the last I am he. Okay? So this is something that the Most High has. All right? Being before time. Being above everything. All right? And so when you see Yahushai say the same thing, boom, this is his inheritance. All right? He gets everything, man. Things we can't even fathom. All right? It takes great faith just to even believe, that he lived. Okay? So this is the concept when you go back and you read the everlasting Father And you see the word Abba there in Hebrew. All right, you can't get simple, because this is the Lord we're talking about. He's much more than a man that's walked the earth. All right, he's way more than just a mere creature. Okay. Colossians 1:15, who is the image of the invisible power, the Most High, who is the image, the firstborn of every creature, man. He is not a trivial man. All right. He's more than a man. The scriptures say, I will not meet thee as a man. But what is he going to meet you as, man? All right. It says, verse 16, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth. So he was there before Adam. Before Adam, the scriptures say, we just read it, the flesh of Adam was created. Then the soul was put in him. Okay. Which means what? The spirit was already created somewhere. Okay. And it came into Adam. There were first fruit spirits that created the earth and the heavens and the earth. All right. And if you have questions on it, that's fine. This is a little deep. All right. And there are lessons to be done on many of the topics that we're kind of addressing here. But this idea that all of the Old Testament it was talking about Yahweh. All right. Or Salakia, it was talking about Yahushai. That's absolutely absurd, man. All right, and it don't make no damn sense to even go there, unless you're getting ready to throw some Trinity nonsense into your doctrine. All right, and instead of you coming out like a man and just owning it, you're trying to inch your way into it. You know, you guys are pathetic, man. All right. And then there's a lot of blood on your hands spreading this confusion around. All right. This should not be a hard thing to get. You know, you guys are going backwards, man. You know, I believe I made the main point on that. There was one thing I wanted to look up. I don't know which one. But you get it, man. He is the everlasting Father. All right. And Lord willing, I can think of some more precepts and hit this from a different angle, because this does really touch, you know, and it keeps brothers sharp and on it, man. This does really touch on a lot of the doctrines that we teach. All right. And it's an illustration of how well everything ties together, man. Because the word Yahushua is also the word. All right. And bodies don't have a random benign things occurring in them. Like Esau would tell you in the medical field, the appendix, you don't need that. No, every part of the body has a purpose, man. And it works together, man. And so when you read the scriptures, you got to look at it at the same. It's part of a body that functions together. All right. This is why you could read the Bible and go read the book of Enoch and be like, this ain't the word of the Lord. Why? Because it don't go, man. All right. There's only one truth. Anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachahak Wadash Shalawam. On to the next one.